Hello, Nicholas Daniel here, answering your questions. Okay, number one, what have you learnt during lockdown? So many things. I love being home, that I miss my music, that I miss my family. I've learned to cook some things I hadn't done before. I'd learned that the world has got to change. Music has got to change. We've got to reassess, reinvent, think again. Have I been to Barcelona before? Okay, it's one of my favourite places in the whole world. I absolutely love it. I have very good friends living there, and I've been working with a company there on music software. And yeah, it's so beautiful. I went on a brilliant walking tour, and it seems you can step from one place, literally one step, and you're in a different century. It's so beautiful, and the beaches are great. And mind you, it was so hot when we were there the first time. It was like 40 degrees, and we found an ice bar on the front. We just dived in there, didn't even bother with the thick coats, and had cocktails. Oh, Barcelona's great. Well, at the moment, there are two options as to what I play at the conference. I'm so sorry it was cancelled this year, but I'm really looking forward to coming next year. Both of them are under discussion, and I'm not sure I'm able to talk about them. One of them we can't get the music of, and one of them the music to rent it is so expensive that we're negotiating. But it's going to be fun, and it's going to be either 20th or 21st century music. Why did I decide? I never decided to play the oboe. Why did I decide to play the oboe? My grandmother said the boy must play the oboe. My mother said, what the beeps, an oboe. That's how it happened. I was a singer. I was a chorister at Salisbury Cathedral. And in order to go there at all, you had to have two instruments. So I'd already played the piano, because Mum had said, do you want to ride horses, or do you want to play the piano? And I thought horses were terrifying when I was 7 years old. So I learned the piano, and then my voice got really good, and I got into Salisbury Cathedral, which is the most beautiful building, an amazing choir. And I took up the oboe in order to be there, and it sort of just went from there, really. What are my projects from September onwards? Well, it's very difficult because nobody really knows over here in the UK exactly what's going to happen. Will there be a second wave? There are things planned. I've got my festival in Leicester, which is Leicester International Music Festival, which is an amazing little festival in the beautiful Victorian city of Leicester, which is very multicultural, and it's a most beautiful museum, Victorian museum, with beautiful red paint walls. It's really stunning. So we're recording because we can't perform live, because a lot of our audience is older, and they're just not going to be risking coming out in September. There are various little things planned. I probably will be teaching my students in a hybrid combination of live, face-to-face in huge rooms, and online in this way, although the limitations of online I'm finding increasingly disturbing. But yeah, there are things happening. I mean, it's looking further ahead from a year from now. There's lots of things that people have said, well, we'll just do it in a year's time. So hopefully that will include the world premiere of a John Tavener piece, which he wrote for me just before he died, for oboe, countertenor and string orchestra. So I'm excited about that, and I hope it happens again. Oh, what piece do you dislike but still know from memory? Ooh, that's a cheeky question. I'm reading these. I haven't pre-read these. This is like a fresh interview. I don't know. You're talking about earworms, aren't you? Really? Things that get into your head and stay there. Ooh, I just thought of a rather scandalous one. No, I can't say that. That's too naughty. Okay, yeah, I'm afraid the Dorati 5 solo pieces. No, don't do it for me, sorry. What makes me most nervous? Oh, well, that's changed. That used to be something being wrong with my family, or that's still true. Now I took a flight last week for the first time, and I was really nervous on that because we just don't know what's happening. We were all masked up and into glasses steaming up and everything. It was horrible. And it turns out planes are small, and yeah, it was. I don't know. I'm not a very nervous person. I sometimes get very nervous when I have to speak in public because if it's something emotional, I tend to cry. I cried at all the different weddings I've had. I mean, I had 3 with my husband because we had one here, which was civil partnership, and then we had one in New York, which was because it was full and equal marriage, and then we had another ceremony when we was converted our civil partnership to a marriage. I cried at all of them. What can I say? Nervous about crying in public. Do I have a hobby? I do have hobbies. I mean, I read. I love the cinema. I've missed the cinema actually hugely. I love to walk, but if I'm honest, a lot of my spare time is taken up with trying to help things I care about. So, trying to help get music into our schools for our young people, trying to find a way to balance some of the wrongs that have been done in the past and lift people up. Oh, I'm partial to a nice Albarino. I think you could describe wine as one of my hobbies, unfortunately. It's been a lovely boozy lockdown over here in England. I think the winemakers have all done marvellously from us. When I was a child, what did I want to be? Well, I had no idea. I wanted at one point to be a tree surgeon. I suppose because I make oboe reeds to play, I kind of am a tree surgeon. I'm doing surgical procedures on tiny pieces of bamboo, arundodonus. Yeah. I just, as a kid, I was just happy bumbling along until music found me. And then it really was from almost the moment I started to get good at the oboe, which didn't take long, about 12 months or something. I just felt it was for me, and that was what I was going to do. I mean, there's been lots of bumps along the way, just because, you know, you turn into a teenager and then things change a bit. But yeah, I was supported by some great people to help me get where I wanted. So that's, yeah. I think I wanted to be an oboist. I didn't know I was going to be a conductor as well, and that turned out to be fun, so I'm enjoying that too. Superpower. Oh, I love to be able to fly. I once introduced he was then 4-year-old son to the composer Jonathan Harvey, because Jonathan always said that his music was about finding a way to interpret or to understand his dreams of flying. I have dreams of flying sometimes too. And my youngest son and my older child, when they were 3 or 4, were regularly having flying dreams. And so I introduced them. and Ali said to me at the time, "Okay, Dad, off you go now." And I left them at Aldborough at the Cragg Sisters tea shop, Jonathan Harvey and my 4-year-old. And I came back occasionally, checked that Jonathan wasn't getting too bored, and they were deep in conversation. Amazing. So I'd love to fly, and it would be amazing to be able to fly quickly to the concert, maybe in my concert clothes, and then fly back without getting my hair ruffled. That would be very nice, thank you. If I could have an evening meal with any person from the past, who would I choose? Well, obviously, you know, Mozart and Bach are a given. Beethoven, and I'll tell you why. Because I'd say, what have you done with the manuscript of the oboe concerto? Where is it? Give it to me now. Please. If I could know one thing about the future, what would I ask? Oh, goodness me, these questions are hard. I would think, yeah, I'm most worried about the planet, honestly. I mean, will it be okay? Are we going to mess it up forever completely, or can we find a way? I mean, we've all got to answer these questions ourselves, haven't we? Yeah, I think I'd like to know, will it be okay? Perfect day, right. Good. Now, let me think. A perfect day, I think, lie in, watch telly in bed, or get up, Sunday lunch, or some kind of Sunday lunch thing, maybe some practice. Yeah, that'd be good. Probably not reed making in a perfect day. Sorry. I think I'd go for a gorgeous walk, maybe by the sea, or maybe in a combination of forest and sea. Yeah. Wine. My husband. Maybe some time with my cats. I'm quite simple, really. Simple soul. Complex, simple soul. Okay. What has been the best moment in your career for you so far, and why? Describe the best professional experience you've had. What made that moment so special? Yeah. I'm very, very lucky. I'm truly blessed, and I've had so many amazing experiences, particularly when composers have been writing for me. This has been something very special. And I was reminded recently of an occasion at the Aldeburgh Festival, which was Peter Pears's 75th birthday, which ended up being his final birthday. And he commissioned Duthier to write a piece for me, Henri Duthier, which became the first movement of the diptych Les Citations for oboe, harpsichord, percussion, double bass. There was no double bass in it when we did it, just those first three. I also played the Mozart Quartet. I also shared the stage with Rostropovich and Murray Pariah, two of my great heroes, and with Peter Pears himself, who, as I'm sure you all know, was Britain's, well, we'll say husband for most of their adult lives. That was an amazing occasion. And when Rostropovich came up to my grandmother, who was there, and kissed her full on the lips and said, well, I can't repeat what he said because it was so incredibly flattering. That was like the beginning of my career. And funnily enough, I mean, I've played all over the world in some amazing places, but there was one time when I'd played the oboe concerto by John Woolrich, which I believe to be a true masterpiece, and the composer came on stage and he just looked at me, John Woolrich, and he didn't say a word. And it was just that feeling that I had somehow served him in the best way. I mean, it's a really hard piece, a really emotional piece, but it is a really great piece of music. You can listen to it, actually. It's on YouTube and Spotify and things. So that was very special, yeah. I think when I serve my composers well, those tend to be great occasions. Yeah. Oh, I'm exhausted. I'm glad that was the last question. Oh, I send you all over there in Spain and wherever you're seeing this, lots of love, and please stay safe, be sensible, and I hope to see you soon. Take care. Bye.